Hey, how's it going everybody? It's Boo from Mile High Distilling. It's extremely cold here today. We're starting to get a little bit colder in Colorado, and lucky for us, in our craft, there's a special recipe that I'd wager most of you know that's gonna warm us right up. So today, we're gonna be doing apple pie moonshine. I'm sure most of you have heard of apple pie moonshine, and I'd wager to say a lot of you have tried your hand at it, different variations of it. I've seen many different variations of this recipe, including whipped cream vodka as a topper, just to give it that nice little touch. I've seen winter wheat ale in the fermentation to give it sort of like a pie crust type mouthfeel. I've seen vanilla bean infused into the recipe to add to that sweetness. So there's a lot of different ways we can take this recipe. Now, Chris Shores, our head distiller over at our new distillery, he has been kind enough today to share his recipe that he's been working on for years. So it's gonna be a nice and simple one, because the beauty of it with apple pie is, yeah, you can make your base from scratch, but really this is such a good pair that really anything you add this apple pie mix into is going to be pretty great. So we've already distilled our base, and really today we're just gonna show you how to create that mix and add it in to your spirit. As far as the base we're using goes, we are opting to use a rye base this time, but really this recipe can be used with any sort of base. People use sugar washes with their apple pie. They might go into a corn liquor and use that as their base. They can switch grains up. I've seen oats, I've seen different types of corn used, and a mix of all those in between. So really it's up to you what you choose to make your base with. I would really suggest that you guys play around with different bases. We're gonna give you the basics here of the mix itself, and then what you can do as a home distiller is make a few different batches with a few different flavor profiles and distill them all, add this mix in, and see which one is gonna suit you best. So let's get our Thanksgiving started off right with some apple pie moonshine. Pairs perfectly with turkey and also with regret. Let's try it. Our first ingredient, 1.5 gallons worth of 100% apple juice. We're gonna follow that up with 1.5 gallons worth of apple cider. We're gonna be using 2 pounds of brown sugar. We're also looking at 2 tablespoons apple pie spice. We also want 8 cinnamon sticks. And then of course, the most important ingredient. Oh, lots of booze. Obviously not all of this. We're gonna use about 6 quarts. So our first step is simple enough. We're just gonna be adding all this right into the pot. Apple juice filled in. Now it's time for that apple cider. Let's use 2 tablespoons worth of that apple pie spice, and don't spill any. Let's add in 8 cinnamon sticks. And let's add in that 2 pounds of brown sugar. Let's give that a little stir right out the gate. And then really from here, the whole plan is really just to let things not even boil. You just want that sugar to dissolve. And then we're gonna let simmer for just a tiny bit and let those spices just sort of work together. Now, of course, we're using this mash tun, semi-professional mash tun. However, at home, you're welcome to use pots. Anything that's really gonna hold that volume there, we're gonna need at least 3 gallons, and then you have to account for sugar a little bit. So just above 3 gallons worth of volume that we're gonna have to be putting in. Cool, so we are almost there. And one thing, which is probably pretty obvious to anyone who's ever cooked or anything like that, is that those spices are going to sort of just fall to the bottom if left unsettled or untreated. So we're gonna go ahead and stir that up. Make sure that those spices are being lifted, getting in that solution. Now again, we're really just doing this to boil the sugar, which has already been done. It's hot enough for that, but I'm trying to go for like an aroma out of this thing. It's getting better by the second. It smells amazing already, but I want just a little bit more on that nose before we stop this boil. So we're gonna go for maybe 5-10 more minutes, we'll see. All right, so our boil has ended about 20 minutes later. I went a little longer than I would say probably Chris would. I think he'd probably go about 15 minutes or so. I just did a little bit longer just to have that really encapsulate that flavor and smell. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it smells amazing. If I could bathe in this, I would. I might still like try to dip my toe in there or something, you know? But for now, we have one more ingredient to put in, probably the most important, 150 proof moonshine. You can use the proof you want. We're using 150 proof based off a rye base. So it's gonna be rye, distiller's malt, a 6-row, and then we have a honey malt, and that made up our base. Okay, so now it's time to add our alcohol. We have 6 quarts of that rye base I talked about. It's sitting at 150 proof. Now, once more, the ingredients you use for your base are up to you. You can use a sugar wash, you can use a variety of different grains. You can really have fun with it, so be sure to explore that. As far as proof goes, same rules are gonna apply. We're using 150. You might like yours a little smoother and softer than that, so feel free to experiment with that. Remember, we can always add stronger alcohol, but once we pour in strong alcohol, we're stuck at that unless we want to dilute with water. I'd recommend probably, if you're concerned about 150 proof, maybe start at 100 proof or so and take it from there and push up from there with higher strength alcohol. But again, you can always water down if you get too hot to begin with. And one more important thing to note, as Chris just had to remind me, is that obviously that 150 proof, when added into the solution, is going to dilute that solution. So I think the same rules still apply where, you know, again, we can start small and increase our proof if we want, but keep in mind that we have to play with that dilution. So 150 proof spirit going into the solution is probably gonna turn that closer to about 100 proof. We're just gonna pour that all right into our solution. Let's give that a nice stir. Now, let's just go ahead and collect. So we can use the bottles of apple juice and apple cider and go right from there. If you don't feel safe about that, you're welcome to use a stainless steel container, even glass, up to you. And we have the luck of having a ball valve right on our mash tun. So we can actually extract right from the mash tun itself. If you're using this in a pot, just go ahead and pour in right with the funnel. Bam, easy. So as you can clearly see, what we're left with is the motherlode of apple pie. We have just shy of 4 gallons of apple pie at about 100 proof from that very simple recipe. So now that we've completed our recipe, I think it's about shot time. And what I love about this apple pie too is that you can have it cold, and you can also heat it up and have it warm, especially on a cold day like today. Go ahead and get a shot glass ready, apple pie if possible. Otherwise, just take a shot, okay? This has been a really incredible journey with all of you guys. So thank you so much for all the support you give this channel. I love the tremendous growth we've received, and these are fun to do. I really try to apply as much love and creativity to these videos as possible. I try to do unique things that you won't find on any other YouTube channel in the same genre as us. And I really do try to apply the time and patience and creativity once more on edits and everything to make these videos better every time. So I hope you've enjoyed what we've created on this channel thus far. And if you haven't already, please, if you can, drop us a like. Go ahead and subscribe to our channel. We'd really appreciate it, guys. So to all you bootleggers and bad mama jammas, take this shot with me. Cheers. So anyways, guys, that's going to be it for us today. I hope you enjoyed this very simple take on a classic moonshine recipe. You're sure to impress all your friends and family sitting around the dinner table this Thanksgiving with a simple recipe like this. So hope you actually try it out and leave a comment if you do. Let us know what you think and let us know your creations that you change your apple pie into down below in the comments. Big thanks to Chris Shores for letting us use his recipe. And be sure to stay tuned to our channel. All month long, we're gonna be doing Thanksgiving themed videos. So we're gonna have some awesome recipes as well. Just like this one, you're also gonna see just some Thanksgiving themed videos. So that's what we're gonna attempt. Stay tuned, keep your notifications on. Down below in the description, you're gonna see all our other social media. Be sure to follow that as well. We post different stuff there as well. Anyways, guys, that's it for my promotional crap that I have to do every video. Hope you enjoyed